Thank you, my dear. Nice intro. Nice, very nice. Priya, thank you so much for that. Namaste, everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai.
Jai.
Welcome, welcome. Very nice to see all of you. If you're in the Hangout, you can ask questions by unmuting your mic. And on YouTube, you can post your questions in the chat and we will look at them. So the question that was asked before Satsang started was, what do I do with my emotions? What do I do with my emotions?
Memories.
More like the memories.
Yeah, like I feel like
Okay, we have time.
I don't know what to do when memories come and they're attacked. Like there are two aspects to it. One is the thought and one is the feeling that comes with it. And part of me says that I shouldn't resist the feelings that is coming. But then the other part of me says that the feelings and the thoughts is only happening to the not real self. So I start the inquiry and then I'm resisting the feeling. So I feel like I'm not allowing myself to feel the feeling and I'm feeling like so I'm feeling bottled up because I don't know what to do with the feeling. And so there's a conflict whether I should feel the feeling and not resist it or do the inquiry and say that like trash it in the bin because that's not the real me.
This is a good question. She says that when an emotion comes and thoughts and feelings, all of them are there seemingly together, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to experience the feelings or am I supposed to inquire and then sort of push the feelings away or keep the feelings inside, bottled up inside? Actually, it is not two different things. Even when we do the inquiry, first is don't resist. Don't try to push anything away. Because immediately when we want to push something away, means that we are not coming from the place of that which is untouched by these feelings. Immediately we become something which feels affected by the feeling and says that this feeling should not come, this should move away, this is not nice. See? So this one is not you, but immediately then the mind as one in a sense, if you say that I don't want this. So first is don't resist. The feeling is coming, yes, let it come. What is the meaning when I say inquire into it? The inquiry is not a form of a band-aid. The inquiry is not a form of a band-aid, not meant to make the feeling go away also. Inquiry only means feeling is allowed, and when feeling is coming, we ask, so who is suffering from this feeling? And you will find that there is nobody here. So in this way, it doesn't get repressed. So it's still allowed to continue. And we just see who is getting touched by it. Because the trouble is the one who still identifies and says, I don't want this. This is bad. These are bad feelings. I'm feeling bad.
But Father, so if I inquire and I see that I'm not getting touched by the feelings, but the feeling, let's say I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling hot, those are the predominant kind of feelings that I have. It's there in full force, and is it okay if it's there in full force and I'm still witnessing it, but I'm really but it's being really felt?
It's being really felt, yes, that's the feeling.
Yeah.
But you will not find the one who's suffering the feelings. So feeling is not bad. So feeling can come, feeling can stay, and it can seem like it's really, wrenching from inside. And even that you will see is just a energetic movement which is part of the appearance. So in this way, then we are not struggling. We're not trying to control which feelings are coming. This regulator that we want to have, which is only this good feeling should come, bad feeling should not come, that gets thrown away.
So what if there's an extended period of...
It's good. If there's an extended period of feeling anger, feeling hurt, means there must be so much which is pent up, isn't it? So that's why I say that instead of saying that it is coming, you say it is going. Because no matter what the period is, nothing can come and stay. Our resisting it actually makes it stay longer.
So what is memory? Is it just a thought? Where does memory come from?
Memory is just another part of the appearance which is here to make you feel like all this is real. Just like we were discussing yesterday, even the dream character has memory. He knows my name is this is where I was born. So all this memory is there even for other realms other than this one.
So
as much, yes. So if you say that thought is all of this energy constructs, which is thought, emotion, imagination, memory, it's all the same thing, same stuff. This external all arises in the presence of your being.
You make it sound so simple.
But it is so simple. She says you make it sound so simple. Because that's the way I see it. More simple just to see. Appearance. Could be anything. But it is a... Of course it is. Everything appearing phenomenally is an appearance. And memory is the most unreliable appearance, I can tell you this. Two people will never agree on what happened, although they were there at the same time. Isn't it? And that's why so much argument, so much discussion can happen, because one will have their version, another will have their version. Even at the end of satsang, okay, you ask each other, so what did he say? And you will say something else, he'll say something else, he'll say something. This is memory. All which is appearing in front of you is appearance. What you are is awareness. It's very simple like this. What you are is awareness. What is appearing in front of awareness is appearance. No appearance can touch awareness. Simple. No appearance can touch awareness, no matter what it is.
It struck me when you said it's all made of the same stuff. So I know when like if I imagine something, it never happened. It was just imagination.
Yes.
So it's the same as the past. It's all imagination.
It's all the same stuff. The stuff of consciousness.
Yes.
The birth of energy, the birth of consciousness comes with the birth of all of this energy. It could be energy constructs called thoughts, energy constructs called external objects, all which is appearing, memory, imagination.
Mind is not feeling.
Mind is feeling, yes, mind is feeling little unsatisfied because it was so much, and we just went chop.
Hello.
What do you mean? All you're saying is appearance, awareness, awareness.
Father, what is that like exciting thing?
Where is the drama?
I cried so much and no drama.
If I were to become part of the drama, you see, then we'd all be in trouble. If I were to start presuming that something actually happened to you. Atma says, does anyone know who is speaking now? It's Palak. The audio is okay for all of you because yesterday there was some talk about the audio not being. When I look away too much, maybe that's when the audio goes. Yes. Why are you going there?
I don't know, Father. Don't ask me any questions. Not feeling good. I don't know.
He wants to hold on to it.
I don't know, Father. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like there's so much inside, and it needs to. I need to get out. And yeah.
So suppose we were not even to presume this, that I needed to get out, because the I that needs something is not you. Because you will not show me this I when I ask where it is.
Feeling, I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know what to say. Something's happening. Just not feeling so good.
So we take this. So this feeling is there. So good tiredness, something is there. It seems like a sort of a vibration. Dullness, yes, exhaustion.
I can't even do the inquiry, but it's like so tired. Like I don't even have the answers to your questions.
What's the bet you'll be laughing at the end of that?
I'm not taking this bet.
No, you bet against it. I'll make some money.
Stop laughing. I'm crying and you're laughing.
Yeah, like this. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, we are continuing.
Just do something.
Yes, yes. Don't worry, you're not interrupting anything.
Sorry.
What? This is what we are here for.
Sorry. I don't know what. Sorry.
It's not wasting time. Very good. It's very good. Yes, yes. This is continuing with Satsang. It's grace. This is called grace. I know it might not feel like it.
Everything you say is grace only.
She says everything you say is grace only. Now you're laughing.
You're laughing.
I'm crying and you're laughing. Embarrassed is also a feeling. Why do you feel this is not satsang? This is also satsang.
Everybody's waiting.
Everybody's waiting. There's nothing to know. Yes, I'm good. Welcome to the club. It's all the knowing, which is the cause of all this trouble. I know what this feeling is. I know my life. I know this is my past. All this knowing can go. This not knowing thing is a very good thing. Suppose you didn't know anything. Suppose you didn't know anything, and yet you will never come and say that my life does not continue. By not knowing doesn't mean that life comes to a standstill. Life still goes on. The one who runs this entire universe runs this life. It always has. Only this false presumed idea that I have done this, I should do this, I should not have done this is all. So suppose we didn't know anything, and the mind will serve up all kinds of knowledge. Say, but what about this? Just stay with the not knowing. Then you don't even know what feeling it is. Something is coming, strong energy is there, and you're just watching in wonder. And we go to an amusement park and we get on a ride. And voluntarily people get on these rides. Many. They experience all the same feeling. Same fear. Oh, death is coming and you're falling down from the roller coaster. What if it doesn't come back up? There's all this feeling, strong feeling is coming. What happens at the end of the roller coaster? You say, that was fun. That was fun. And some will even say, let's go again. So same feeling, when the perspective is that it's all a ride, it's all a game, then no trouble. When we give it too much seriousness that this is really happening to me, something, it's about my life, then we make it more serious. We give it more seriousness than it deserves. Some of us like seeing sad movies, tragic movies, Romeo and Juliet is the most most loved love story. Feel sad at the end of it, both of them. Okay, spoilers for the one. If anyone's been living under a rock and doesn't know, both Romeo and Juliet die at the end. So, so why we want to feel the sadness? Why we love this story? If sadness never was supposed to come, then why do these books become popular? Because consciousness here to experience all the broad spectrum of taste. It doesn't say only sweet, 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 sweet. It doesn't say only salt, salt. It wants full variety. It's here to experience all of this, so let it experience everything. Yes.
I did a course.
Even I can't hear you, so there's no chance the online guys can hear. You did a course?
I did a course. This guy, he picked up the meditation, dynamic meditation from
dynamic meditation. Yes. Yes.
And sees a lot of catharsis happening.
Yeah.
And Osho believes that the very good way, all that we have gathered in there, quickly happens. Is that a
It could be. I've never experienced it myself, but I've heard lots of things about this dynamic meditation. I feel all practices, everything is good. If grace is leading you there, it's all good. Just don't pick up the identity of the practitioner. So here there's not so much feeling that I have to prescribe some medicine like this to. It's very directly, very clearly, You can see the truth about yourself. And then all this will get released on its own anyway. So I don't want to say step one, freedom from thought. Step two, mastery over your emotions. Something like this. You have these courses. Mastery over mind, mastery over emotion, and mastery over I don't know what. And then ultimately come to this self-discovery. And even then they say first self-realization, then God realization. Various steps to everything. So here very directly, if God is real, if you are real, then you must be here now. Why step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And no one who has openly, clearly looked has not found themselves. Because you are here now. You see? The mind will not come to that conclusion, oh yes, you found. If you're waiting for the mind's conclusion, then you can wait forever. But if you can clearly just see now that there is awareness, and everything that is appearing is just an appearance for this awareness. And as part of the appearance is also these appearances of thought energy, which is the only one convincing me that I am a separate individual. Nothing in the world is saying that, you see. It is only these thoughts. So all I say is just don't give your belief to these thoughts. And see for yourself what you are.
The energy is so powerful sometimes, so powerful.
But no appearance is powerful compared to awareness. Who sees the tornado?
The seeing is there. The seeing is there.
And is the seeing affected by the tornado?
Seeing is not.
Yes, you are that.
But the seeing is lost in some.
It's not lost. It's not lost. Otherwise, you would not be able to report tornado.
Oh, it's not lost.
It's not lost. If it was lost, then how would you report tornado? So no matter what the appearance is, you cannot truly say that the seeing was lost. At best, you can say my attention was with the appearance. Yes. But who's the attention reporting to? The one that attention is reporting to is you. That you is not lost. The real you is never lost. So we must like this check and see what do I still feel? What is the appearance that I am resisting? What is the appearance that I am saying I don't want? And in doing this audit like this, what is it that I am still resisting? It will show us our attachments. Show us our attachments. Look at your deepest fears and they will point you to your biggest attachments. And whatever attachment you have, ask yourself how long the appearance of this will last. Whatever attachment you have, ask yourself how long the appearance of this attachment will last. How long will it last? 50 years. You are attached to your house. How long are you going to live in that house? 50 years, 60 years. After that, what? 30, 40, 50 years already gone. Isn't it? Same way, the rest will also go. And then what? So,
not to be attached to children, we do know that way. We are so attached to our children, and petrified that they're okay,
yes,
okay, they're sick,
Yes.
How not to be
Just to see, there is just in the seeing it is enough. Like somebody asked yesterday also, what is the thought for you which might still get some belief? And I said, okay, something happening to the children is still something that might get belief here. See, but you are openly able to see, okay, yes, this is still an attachment. If you're able to see it as an attachment, then already it is enough. Just to see it at a distance like this is the freedom from the attachment.
that itself is enough.
Yes, yes, you must not try and pick up a practice for it.
Yeah, slowly growing. Leave it to exist.
Yes, and some amount of it is very, very primal, you see. Even in animals, it's very primal. A small animal will fight with a elephant or a lion for their children. So some of it is very primal. You must not try to fight it. Just know that this attachment is there. The seeing it is enough. And it's very easy to see. Just follow your biggest fears, and they will show you your biggest attachments. You're good. Something happened. Tripti says, my daughter is at home with a bellyache. How can I support her? I am with myself and hold her in my heart. I am an object. I am with an object then. Seems that mind is busy with the issue and wants to make something out of it. It's very good that you can spot it, that the mind is trying to make a person out of you. And if you spot it, it is good. Then it is not succeeding. Let whatever has to happen naturally flow in that way. Naturally, there's a prayer arising in your heart, no problem with that. Just know that the one who's feeling what should I do, not do, is not you. It is not even real. Bhagavati ji says, Father, I met Radha yesterday at Sahaja. Such a beautiful meeting, such joy for us both. She asked me to give all her love to you this morning. Thank you so much, my dear. We both found how beautiful it was to meet and that it was no different from meeting online. We felt you here with us. Yes. Actually, no difference. No? So many of you I met first time in Rishikesh. Yeah. And some things get noticed because you meet for the first time, but actually no difference in the meeting in the heart. It's something like you never know when you meet online how tall one is. So I remember I met Parvati ji the first time and she's tall. No? I said, wow, she's tall. So things like height, something like this, you only notice when you meet here, but otherwise the meeting has already happened. Already happened.
It didn't feel like I was meeting anyone.
Didn't feel like that, yes. And Bhagavati ji says, I gave her a photo of you and we both hugged it. We treasure you. Thank you so much. And Priya says, there is such a freedom in not wanting anything. The only desire here is to be at my master's feet. This is very good. The one without want, either desire or aversion, both are the same actually. It's still a want. It's very beautiful to come in the presence of that. And then Bhagavati ji says she's showing your photo to everyone. I gave one to Guruji also. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Andre says, was there ever no knowing me? Was there ever no knowing me and you? In reality, the truth is never forgotten. The awareness is never confused about what it is. It's only consciousness pretending to play this game.
So good.
Yes?
Not feeling so
Not
I'm
feeling
feeling
so.
like there's some trembling happening inside. Sharing.
Yes, it's very good. Yes. Trembling, trembling, trembling. And you are seeing it. So the content of this appearance is that it's shaking. It's not trembling. But is the seeing also trembling? So then it is not true that you are not feeling good. It is that the feeling. I'm not Advaita policing. I'm just saying that just to see that there is a distance. So in the appearance, this body seems to have some trembling, some emotional energy is vibrating. Freedom is just a simple seeing that I am untouched. Only the mind says that this is happening to you.
And the mind saying that This should.
Why this shouldn't
happening?
be.
Or what
Exactly.
is happening?
Exactly.
He wants to know what's happening.
How do I fix it?
Or what's the emotion attached to it? There's no emotion attached to it. It's just happening.
Just happen. An emotion can come. Emotion is allowed to come. Sometimes I see you crying, then some teary-eyed stuff happens here also, although I'm still laughing. But, emotion is okay. Emotion has no trouble. It's a presumption that I am suffering from this emotion. Then we picked up the presumed. There's something there which will continue to say me. This is happening to me. This me doesn't want to let it go.
Like it feels like if it lets it go,
then it took so much trouble to create all this. You see? So it wants it to be that we must first agree with its proposition. It wants first agreement on the proposition, that first agree that something is happening to me, then speak further from there. You see? And most of the world will do that. When you go to people and say, this is happening to me, most will say, oh, poor thing, this is happening to you. Let's see how we can fix it. Nobody questions the basic presumption, is it really happening to you? So well-meaning though it might be, the fact is it can many times perpetuate this sense that something is happening to me. That's what I was telling Anandi a few days ago also, isn't it? She was saying that this feeling, this is happening, and I spoke to a friend, and the friend was saying, oh, okay, it'll get better. And so I said that maybe this talk is at counter purposes to what I'm saying. Because we are still comforting something which is getting crushed. And now I feel that after that, there's a feeling that this is going. See, this is going. So the sense of trying to protect this one is now a lot less than what it was, isn't it? This is good. You see now, because in those times I would come and say, okay, we'll make it all right, and then we're still protecting that one. Now you are starting to discover the invincible one. Is not concerned about any of this. Like this, you become strong, you see. So whatever then, okay, happening to the body, happening emotionally, happening to thoughts, all this, you just say appearance.
Yeah, I can still see that imagined one, let's say, me
Yeah.
trying to get. I was looking at that this morning a little bit. There's space for it. It's still like.
Yes, because so far this pretend me has been taking all the energy. All the energy has gone to me. How does this me feel better? How does this me run their life? How does this me have relationships? How does this me have money? All the energy has been going to this pretend idea. And when you cannot find the me anymore, actually if you looked, you would never be able to find it. You see, it was just a presumption. Now we see I cannot find it, so I'm not going to presume myself to be this me. And with this comes all this freedom. So much energy was going in, planning, coordinating the life of this me. Never really existed.
Can I talk to you a little bit about that?
Yes, my dear, you can.
Because I was listening to Adya Shanti and he was saying that, yeah, of course you're not that, but you ultimately you are not that, but you are also that. So, you know, this constant denial of you're not that doesn't help you in your relative life. So, you know, it's like saying it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist is not going to help you sort out your psychological issues if you need to, like taking the car to the mechanic, you know, taking your medicine if you need to, getting a job and working if you need to. So it feels like the it just falls short to say, oh, you're not this, you're not this, you're not this, you're not this. You know, it's almost like don't look, don't look, don't look.
Yes, yes, yes. There are two things that Adya says about this, which is very good. One is that in this one, it becomes like this sense of becoming a spiritual jerk. And you're constantly just, you know, like when your wife comes and says, this is happening to me, you're saying, so who is the me to which it is happening to? You see? And this way you become like a jerk. Basically, you're what all, he says very nicely, and I love quoting him like this. He says that all that your mouth is saying is true, but you're still a jerk. You see? So this is very beautiful because it is still coming from this place of specialness. You see, someone is speaking at a different level relatively, something which is happening in life, and I've done this in the past, so that's why I can relate so well to this. My wife would come and say, so this morning, you know, this happened to the kids, and at school this happened. And I'm saying, who is speaking? And she would have felt like hitting me so hard, I'm sure, at that time. So this is the one aspect which he talks about, which is the being the spiritual jerk. You know? So this can be the, oh, I've understood something and now I must now only say this is, who is this? Second is exactly the example that we quote often and Parvati is mentioning just now is this thing. Oh, I am spiritual now, I am awake, so I don't need to go to the doctor. You know? My car is breaking down, I don't need to take it to the mechanic. So when we speak like this, then it is again the sense of the misunderstanding, again the sense of the level confusion. So when the car is breaking down, when the body is not there, if we find that there's this feeling to go to the hospital, go to the mechanic, it's completely fine. You must not try to say you just spiritual concepts and say that this should not happen. See, in India also this is very popular that, oh, because I'm spiritual, then my body should not fall sick. I should need no sleep. You know?
And I also, you know, I also really believe a lot of the physical stuff is the same as the emotional stuff. So if you have a constant anxiety, or you have a depression, or you have like a psychological thing that keeps coming back to you, surely you take care of that as much as you take care of physical things, you know. And to constantly say, oh, you know, it's not real, it doesn't exist, I'm not that, is actually, I don't know if that's going to help. I'm not convinced. I keep seeing repeating patterns in friends, and in, you know, that you just need to go and take care of that as well, you know, and know at the same time that you are not that.
Yes. So as long as there is a knowing that I'm not that. You see, so it's not just we have taken one concept, I'm the person, and replaced it with another concept, I'm God. As long as it's still conceptual, it doesn't help. And many get stuck in this point where it becomes just we have replaced this concept of personhood with another concept of self or God or even nothing. Even this I am nothing has become like a concept which then becomes something which we are parroting, but it's not what is seen. So as long as it's clear about what is seen, then no concept is actually required. So why do we say so often like this in Satsang? Because this is what we are here to discover right now. But during the rest of life, I'm not going around just saying to everyone I meet at work, but you're not this. We have to get this website up today, but I'm not this. It's not like that. Life continues. The flow of life continues. So I've stopped being a spiritual jerk hopefully, in the rest of my life.
I'm speaking from a personal example. I was nervous to ask my family, specifically my husband, but my daughter as well, if I could go to the retreat, because I had just been in February, March, so it's not so long, and they are used to me going every year, but once a year, and now it's only a few months, and I feel like I want to go to Monte Sahaja, right? So we don't have the money, and I don't have the time. And still I want to go. So I have this fight in my head the whole time. Oh, if I was on my own, then I'd go. And, like I'm trapped in this life, like the mind starts like, and I could sort of ignore it, but it's like physical reality. It's happening. So I don't just go, oh, who is that for? Who's feeling that? That doesn't work. Deal with it. So like, go to the husband and say, please, can I go? Have the fight. Conflict avoidance.
We cannot use spiritual concepts just as tools. Sometimes we use them as swords to fight our fights. At best, spirituality, all these concepts can be used as umbrellas. When it's raining too hard and you want to use an umbrella, that's what it is for.
Bhagavati is asking me if they said yes. No, it's ongoing fight.
Oh.
It's ongoing. It's been, I don't know, about 4 days of constant negotiation.
Very good. Atma says, he's laughing at something like that, what he says further. Maybe what Adya was saying. And David says, Rupert says that concepts are useful for conventional purposes. It's when you believe that you refer to something that is actually true that suffering comes. Yes. So she already said that ultimately it is clear what I am. But we must not force it in day-to-day interactions and whatever is flowing is just flowing. It's when you believe that concepts refer to some existing independent reality that suffering comes. Very well put. When concepts refer to some existing independent reality that suffering comes. Exactly. Because what happens is that when we come from this place that this is real, then there is concern about the outcome also. So whole of or large part of the Bhagavad Gita is about Karma Yoga, and Karma Yoga is nothing but no fear about the outcome. Actions are moving, but no fear about the outcome. And that fear of outcome can only come when we are really presuming that this one that I'm referring to as I is a separate existence, a separate entity. So in the heart to know the truth, and yet in day-to-day life to function normally, then it's completely fine. David says, let Father talk to them. I have enough trouble with families already. Why have you named my daughter? I had given her such a beautiful name. Who do you think you are? I got scared one day when Jaya said my family is threatening to come and take me back from India. And I said, okay, define family. She says, my brothers. When I said brothers, okay, how many brothers? He says six. Six brothers. When I said, are they strong? They will fight. They actually do. And Trupti says, I didn't go into this fight yet. Good that you did. Yes, many are waiting for your outcome now to see. Shakti says, Father, may I come? You can come, my dear.
Namaste, Father.
Hey, my dear. So good to see you here.
Good to see you. I'm so happy that Pravati brought this up because I had also watched something with Adya maybe yesterday, and maybe we were watching the same thing. But I just, when you were talking about it with her, I could feel that it was kind of skimming over me or something.
Yes.
And that's always suspicious to me that
Yes.
Maybe something's not wanting to hear.
Yes.
So my sense is that something so enjoys the sort of elevated experiences.
Yes.
And then when experiences like, you know, what might be considered typical human experiences like feeling sad or worried, when those come, there's some assumption that's instantly made that means that I've lost it, or that I'm not being myself or something. And then there's this sort of like, okay, wait a second. That's not true. This is all this one. And so I don't know if what happens is just the fascination with these elevated experiences, or if there's really something still in the game of avoiding. And so I just, however you can guide me and show me, I feel very open to hear. And I'll mute so I can hear you well.
Thank you, my dear. So, what we said is, and what Parvati said when she started is that in our heart it is completely clear that this is the truth. And that clarity is an unshakable one, isn't it? So, this is clear that I am this awareness. Now, in satsang, why do we say it? Because sometimes you need the reminder. Because there might be some feeling that this clarity is not stabilized, so you need this reminder. But if we are operating from this clarity, then we must not use this as some sort of an advantage in our day-to-day practical living. Because very quickly it is the ego itself which uses Advaitic concepts as an ego defense. You see? Or as a cheat code for the rest of our life. It's like it'll say, okay, this game of life I figured out because now I have the cheat code that I am awareness. And it doesn't work like that. Enter I am awareness and the game all becomes. Only the expectations of the mind then get served up. That's what the ego itself is saying. So, with this unshakable clarity about what we are, we see that in day-to-day life, everything is moving in resonance at that level. So, somebody comes to you and talks to you about work, building a website, and then you're talking to them about building a website. Somebody comes to Sumer with a case, he's going to talk to them about the case. He's not going to say, oh, first let's come to the conclusion about who is really suffering from this legal matter. You see, it's not like that. So that is what is the reverse kind of level confusion. You see your reality to be this, and ultimately, what can we really say about reality? What can we really say? Even the word awareness does not do it justice, you see. So there is no word which can really convey what we are. You see? So what happens is that in the rest of our life, we are just letting this consciousness play out the way it is playing out, and not confusing levels over there. In satsang, we come and we say, okay, just satsang is reminder. Okay, satsang is reminder about what I am. We hear, yes, I am this awareness. I am this awareness. So there must be no aversion to even hearing this, I am this awareness. Because that is what satsang is for. Because here we are here to remind you about what is real. And if this is clear, then day-to-day life just can continue in its own way. So we are not going around then Advaita policing or being spiritual jerks or trying to fix your car by repeating I am awareness doesn't work. It needs to be taken to the mechanic. But many get stuck in this kind of thing that they feel, okay, but now I'm liberated. And I heard in the books that the liberated one never had any problems. And then they say, oh, my car broke down. Does this mean I'm not awareness now? You see, this kind of ludicrous stuff. So that is what we are speaking about. That in our heart it can be completely clear what I am, but when your car is broken down, you don't go to your family and say, but I'm awake. I can't take it to the mechanic. How can it even break down? You must be lying. It's my car and I'm awake. It's not allowed to break down. This kind of, I'm exaggerating just to make the point. You see. Usually it shows up in much more subtle ways than this, but unless I exaggerate, it doesn't register.
Oh, I wanted to share something that I think someplace that maybe there was not clarity, and just in the last few days it's opened up. So I would just be doing whatever duties, and let's say making breakfast or something, and attention was just free doing whatever it was doing, and then suddenly a thought would come like, oh, I haven't been conscious. I haven't been like putting attention on awareness. Yeah. And then there would be like this, who knows, minutes or hours or days of obsessing about how I lost it or something. And just the other day I realized that game had been being played, and for maybe a very long time, for maybe like years, that game had been being played. And I realized when you were just sharing this with me that I think that that's just another, I don't know, like just another way that the mind has been playing something that would suggest, I don't even know what I'm saying now.
I understand what you're saying. So along the way somewhere, the mind also took on this instruction and said, you must abide as the self, abide as awareness, keep your attention with the presence. All this was heard. And at that point of time, maybe it was grace that it was heard like this because something got cleared up in that. But now we realize that even this instruction is not for me, you see. Yes. Because what happens is that I have not at least met someone who has been able to constantly keep their attention with anything, be it awareness, be it presence. I have not met one, you see. So when attention goes somewhere else, then very quickly the mind brings up the guilt thing. See, you allowed your attention to move, and that's why this is happening. So this is seen like this, that it became a mind trick. The mind was saying you must keep your attention only here or only there. In fact, I don't find that freedom. If this was forcibly trying to keep attention somewhere, I would not label that freedom actually. That's why we say leave attention also completely free. Where can it go? It's not going anywhere at all. It's always inside you. All appearances are inside you. So no fear about where attention is also going. And therefore no guilt about it. So even this trick is dropped now. Yeah.
So just like how the car can break down.
Yeah.
So it's okay if some memory triggers some
Yes.
emotions.
Yes.
I just don't resist it.
Yes, exactly.
But then the mind is saying, but don't believe your next thought.
Yeah.
So watch it, but don't believe it and don't resist.
Just don't resist. Because this mind is nothing but a resistance anyway.
So it's okay if that happens.
Yeah, as a thought is coming. I said, no, that even if belief is going and you're identified as a person for 1,000,000 lifetimes, nothing is really changing about you. So everything is okay. Let's start with that presumption that everything is first okay. Then there's openness to check. It seems like it is a bit confusing as to what I am. Then we can look and say, okay, let's find out what you are. Because this is what it will come, that the confusion comes between the sense that I am this one who is suffering from these things, or am I just a witness? But whatever is coming, we must allow it to come. In any case, we cannot stop it. When we try to resist it, it only amplifies or gets pushed down with greater strength for later. Jerome says, so nothing changed except the end of identification with the event of my life, in quotes. Yes, nothing externally needs to change. And Omkar says, no other can stay as awareness. Yes, this is still separation. Your grace made this clear, Father. No other can stay as awareness. David says, yes, this is why Muji says, the Christ could not do it, the Buddha could not do it. We try to force our attention to particular things. Then he said, I have to go, beloved, space becoming available now. He gone already? Okay, my love. Jerome says David could not do it. Only in the books I've read about people who could do it. Some yogis who just kept their attention. Those two very rare. You see, the fun thing would be to see that, okay, if I had this some siddhi and I would be in a cave and I was able to hold my attention with something, maybe just the presence, over 20 years. Okay. And then you come out of that cave and you come. So sometimes I joke and I say you want to take an auto rickshaw home after the cave from 20 years, and the auto guy says 50 rupees more than the meter. Whether attention still stays with the presence or it moves. Lots of chat on YouTube. Priya says there is such a freedom in not wanting anything. The only desire liberate that. Then Priya said, joy comes and goes, disturbance comes and goes. no wanting, no aversion, all can come and go. It's all totally okay. It's very simple like this. Everything is allowed to come and go. Stina says, I can't get to the conviction that my life is fine the way it is. Each day I feel a pressure that I should do something in order to change the situation. There is not enough trust that everything is going by itself. Yes. So you say yes. That I hear this, that everything is okay, but I don't feel there's enough trust in it. And I don't feel that I'm not the doer, that everything is happening on its own. I don't feel this. So don't force yourself to feel anything. Don't force any conviction. But what you can do is check. And when you check, you will find that I cannot find the doer. I cannot find the one who typed these words. I cannot find the one who's moving, action happening through the body. So then this conviction that I am the doer of my actions will start to dissolve. You see? So there is no conviction required for the truth. There is no conviction required for this, that consciousness is the one doer. It doesn't need conviction. As long as we see that there is no individual entity here to be the doer, it is enough. So don't try to be convinced about the truth. Just shine your light on concepts which are about the person. Just shine your light on those and see if you can come to a conclusion or come to a discovery about whether there is a person here or not. If you find that there is no person here, then you don't need to be convinced that everything is happening on its own. If there is no person here, then everything must be happening on its own. So keep shining your light on who am I? And then all these insights will come on their own. Andre said, no, it didn't help me to repeat. Yes, it doesn't help to keep saying, I'm awareness, I'm awareness. Sometimes, little bit, like a reminder, it comes. Like that, it's okay. But if you're just using it as a technique, as a cheat code of life, then it isn't. Then it's just coming from fear, you see. We're still fearful about the content of life, so we need some sword to be able to fight with life and say, I have the sword of awareness now, and I'm going to fight life. Sorry. Namaste, Shanti. Thank you, Shakti. So nice to see you again today. Love you too. Jerome says, very good, Father. Fighting life with awareness. Many can do like this. It gets stuck as a mental concept. Oh, awareness. Yes, yes, I am awareness. now I will win in this life. I will become a winner, because I was not managing to succeed as anything else. Now maybe as awareness I can succeed. The ego itself uses awareness.
Nice to see you again today. That you are going to
I remember doing the very, very, very first got introduced to it by her.
Yeah.
And I remember at that time I was like really into affirmations and
Yeah.
it was the very, very first like read about Ramana Maharshi and watched my first YouTube video and I just remember walking around saying, repeating, I am. It was very mental, but very funny now.
It's okay, because sometimes it feels like initially it's done like this and then it seeps through to the heart. If it's like really sticky, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Like I see many like sadhus and swamis who are just from the mouth
Yeah.
saying these things.
It was from the heart, but it was very, I mean, I kind of laugh at it now because I could see it was very focused. But that was just, I guess, what needed to happen. It's just funny to look back and remember
I've done a lot of this stuff. I've even chanted Who Am I like a mantra.
that.
Omkar made some space for Shanti. Thank you, my dear. Trupti says no audio here, is it? It's still no audio?
No, the audio is fine, Father.
It's fine.
Hmm.
Govil said welcoming every thought and emotion without the personhood is the same as the understanding that I am the untouched witness or awareness without repeating it. Yes. Because every person, if you're believing yourself to be a person, will be scared of some appearance or the other. But if you're able to welcome every thought and emotion, if you're open, being welcoming means you're not necessarily inviting them, but at least we are open to everything which is appearing. And this fearlessness can come only from the true understanding of what you are.
Father,
Yes, my dear.
I just wanted to report in with you. There's really nothing to report.
Good.
It's like there's just nothing.
Yes.
There's the appearance of things, like wanting to look back or look forward or analyze. But it's just as Drukti said, it's just being here. It's enough just to be here. I feel so blessed just to be here. It's there's nobody here to know anything.
Yes.
I can't even say I don't know. There isn't even a I don't know. It's just not even that.
Yes.
It's like there's just nothing to be said. Even though there's speaking happening, there's nothing to be said. There's nothing I can say about anything.
This not saying anything is the most beautiful communion, not even a conversation.
There's just nothing to be said. Unless there is.
Yes. The saying or not saying happens, there's nothing really being said.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you so much, my dear. Very happy, very happy. Shakti says, Father, sometimes my head hurts very bad recently, like it is being stabbed. What to do? I don't even know why I am saying this now. Like it is being stabbed. We can look at this, my dear. Maybe you send me a message and we'll look at this together. Andre says, I notice some irritation that some stay, all hang out, while others also like to get in. Although maybe nothing to say, maybe in these parts we take better care of each other. Actually, it's not possible at all to be in satsang unless there is a deep longing for it. And when this deep longing comes, then life will make sure that you are in the presence of your beloved. Whether it is in a hangout like this or some other way. And here I always feel that, practically speaking now, that I've never felt that we have not made space whenever somebody is asked. I don't feel someone has ever said, I want to come in, and everybody said, no, 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 we are here. So far, like this. I don't know how it will go, how it will go in the future. But so far, we've always said, come, we'll make some space. Stina says, does consciousness care about our outlook? If not, what I suggest? If not, what I suggest then, who is interested in wearing nice clothes, putting on makeup, etc.? As long as we are investing energy in our outlook, are we still identified? Or outlook, in the sense of how you're appearing. All of this is just another expression of consciousness itself. It is the appearance of consciousness itself, and every expression is unique. In some expression, there's this feeling to be presentable on the outside. In some expression, there is no feeling like that. And either is okay. Amba also says, stabbing, I had a head stabbing pain in my head every now and again for a couple of years. In the end, of course, when I allowed everything, it was nothing as everything. Yes. I've also had strong experiences of these pains in the head and things. We can look at it. And then Amba said, but it seemed to be holding some stories. So when I allowed it completely, all these stories came out. Sometimes it's an energetic thing. Let's see. Thank you, Shivani. Love you too. Thank you, Atma. Love you too. Parvati also says, Parvati says, me too, father. I was hospitalized with a headache at one point, couldn't move. I see.
That's one of the things that Robin uses to say, no, you can't go, because I get sick every time I go on retreat.
Oh.
No, you come back and you're broken because I get hectic satsang flu, or I get major headaches. It's his whole reason.
That's very sweet of him also.
Yeah.
I can see from his perspective, if I was not into something and my wife was going somewhere and she would always come back unwell. I say, what are you doing then? What is the point? I can understand. Nikhil also says, same here, once a month the headache is so bad that I have to take a pill. Yes. If it feels like we must take some medication, it's fine. Aparna says, Namaste Father, could you shed some light? Are all thoughts imagined? And the voice in the head also imagined? The voice in the head is thoughts only, no? What else is there?
Namaste, Father.
Namaste. I got reminded, actually, you told me this. So I used to have a job, this was before 2008. So I remember one day I was at my job in this company called Cisco, which is into networking. So I was in my job, and just in the evening, sometimes we would get together and speak about these things. And I said, everyone has this voice in their head. And a friend of mine said, what? You have voices in your head? You better get examined. Get your head examined. So the voice is so much it has pretended that it is me that it isn't. Even for most people it doesn't seem like it is something. The thoughts are like a voice in our head. And many times when we say something like this, oh, this voice in your head, why do you trust it? Say, what voice in the head? What are you talking about? Then you have to say thoughts. You're talking about the thoughts.
But Father, I feel it so real.
What?
Just like how I'm talking to you, the same voice is heard inside.
Heard like, inside the head?
Only the mouth is not moving, but inside it's like similar. Like what I'm telling you, I could be telling like that inside, same. But
yeah. And this is thoughts, no? Or it's qualitatively different from thoughts?
It's different.
Yes. How is it different?
It even it's like if there's some thought, the voice tells, oh, this is not a thought, this is a good thought, it's a bad thought. It's like judging kind of thing, or that kind. The voice is different to thought, yes. Isn't it?
What you must do is when this comes, so there are two different possibilities. One possibility is that the mind itself tries to become the guru in the head, you see, and says, yes, this is right, this is wrong, this is another thought, you must drop it. And this one sounds very authoritative, very demanding, very, very like a like a horror story guru actually. The worst, the most, this the one that you would imagine the worst type of master would be like that. Then the other possibility is that this voice is accompanied with love and peace. And every time you hear the words, you feel like you have been dipped in honey. So if it is accompanied by love and peace, this voice you can trust. This is the voice of your intuition, the Sadguru, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call that. So just be little vigilant to this. And if it is that, again, the demanding, the needy, the desperate voice, just pretending to know something, you can let that also go. You can trust the voice which is accompanied by love and peace. Because ego and love cannot coexist, you see. So if it is coming from ego, then it cannot have the presence of love.
But this, I've noticed this voice tells both ways, Father. It tells the good thing also. It's also like telling me don't do this and do this. That, so I don't trust this voice, but I always sometimes I question also that, okay, where does this voice come from? And then if there is no answer for that when I question, like inquire, where does this voice come from? Like outwardly talking is different, but from this voice, where does it come from? I'm really shocked. Yesterday when I was listening to the satsang, somebody was talking about thoughts and all, and then you said thoughts are all imagined. So since yesterday that something caught me, so I've been like thinking, okay, anything, whatever thoughts are coming, I thought it's all imagination. So why should I imagine unnecessarily? So that's why I immediately asked you, the voice also is there and this thoughts also is there. So how does that differentiate? And so if voice, I don't know, Father, can you please give more explanation for this?
That's why I
Thank you.
said it's not about the content of what the voice is saying. You see? Because the ego can also be a great pretender and just repeat the words of satsang or say something which sounds very nice or good. You see? It is not about the content of what the voice is saying, it is the presence which it is accompanied with. So do you feel the presence of love and peace? Or do you feel that there's a sense of fear, there's a sense of authority? So this we must be vigilant about.
No sense of peace and love so far, Father. It's only fear and authority. Fear, no, but authority definitely, yes.
Then you forget about it. It's another form of the same egoic energy.
So it doesn't exist in fact?
Everything that is appearing, either we can say is phenomenal or we can say it doesn't exist. It's the same thing.
I'm aware of this voice, definitely. That is for sure. But I thought this voice was the ego actually.
Yes, and the ego doesn't exist.
But you just said it's like thought, Father. Isn't it another thought?
Uh, Belief in thoughts leads to the sense that I am the separate one. This sense that I am the separate one is the ego. The method of perpetuation of the ego is thought. The sense that I am the separate one is the ego. The method of this perpetuation of this separation is thoughts. Okay, should we take it very basic?
Yes, Father. Yes, thank you.
Whatever is appearing is part of the phenomenal realm, or you call it illusion, or whatever you call it, it's okay. It's just an appearance. And this, whatever is appearing, includes thoughts, it includes intuition, it includes Sadguru, heart, everything. You see? So ultimately, for you as awareness, everything is an appearance. Now, in our question, we have this question that as part of the appearance, I know that everything is an appearance. Now, in part of the appearance, there is a voice which perpetuates separation, and there is another voice which perpetuates the truth or oneness. How do I know which is which? Both are part of the appearance. But how do I know which is which? One is perpetuating ego, the other is encouraging the self. So after contemplation on this question, it was clear that this voice of ego cannot be accompanied by love and peace. Because ego and love cannot coexist. Love dissolves ego immediately. You see? And yet there is a deeper voice, the voice of the intuition, the voice of the Sadguru, which when it speaks, it seems like the words have been dipped in love. And even when they appear from your mouth, it will sound like you are being dipped in love. And the ones who hear them seem like they are enjoying this love, this presence. You see? So if it is accompanied by this love, this peace, this presence of your own heart, then it is the voice of intuition or the Sadguru. All other voice, whatever it is pretending, is the voice of the ego. No matter how good it sounds, no matter what it is saying, it is still the same separate, the imagined one which is preaching separation.
Father, sometimes I get the thoughts which is going to happen, like, um, like whatever is happening. The other day also, sorry, I'm just taking this example because I had to buy a toy to my little one, so I had to go to one shopping center. I got that thought first, but then I ignored it, and then I went to some other place.
I got the desk
That was one example.
I got the
And also
toy.
the other day when
I got the
I was just doing my inquiry also, suddenly I got the thoughts of you talking to Priyaji also. And then
I got
that's
the
exactly
toy.
what happened
Wait,
in the satsang the other day.
I
It's just like
toy.
something
I
new
got
that
the
this is
toy.
going to happen or something. I just got the thought, but I ignored it. So these are all intuition thoughts, isn't it? But it was just in a thought form which I didn't really give, even though that attention went there, but as in like you have to go there or this will happen, something like that. So there was a strong sense of that seeing that thought. This is intuition thoughts, but what is it's something from deep inside which I've not realized so far, or I can say in 2013 December, I remember the date also. This suddenly, I don't know what happened that day, Father. I wanted to share with you for a long time. It was in the morning. Suddenly, I felt some movement in my heart chakra area, my chest area, and then suddenly I felt lots of love, which then I really hugged my little one, and then I really cuddled her so much and gave that complete love. And then I had my shop then. So I went to the shop and then I was sitting there. And suddenly I felt some kind of resistance, body and everything. Something was resisting so badly. And then suddenly I felt peace and I felt some kind of energy flowing through me where I felt all the love for the beings, everyone, not only for my family or something, for everyone on the earth. And that experience made me change my entire perspective about being human and all those things. Since that day, things changed for me. I started going deeply into spirituality. Then exactly like 3-4 months, I saw Muji on YouTube on Rishikesh and all. Then in my trance also I've seen Ramana Maharshi. All these things happened gradually, but that experience, I felt like I should have it often like that. So I was clinging to that. But later I realized it cannot happen, and then today I'm here. So all these things is, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. But that experience of that love, that was the only time I have felt it. After that, I think probably I got into the personhood thing and all these things got up. I don't know, Father. So when you said deep, I resonated with that part. Otherwise, I haven't felt so far that, even though maybe momentary I've not noticed, but I don't know what I'm talking to, what I'm saying all this things, Father. But I don't know. Kindly let me know what it is, Father. Thank you.
About spiritual experiences, I want to tell you and all of you two things. First thing, enjoy when it comes. Spiritual, beautiful experiences like prasad you get, enjoy when it comes. The second thing, forget about it. If you don't forget about it, it will only become part of the spiritual ego. Enjoy when it comes and forget about it. Naturally, if it's there, something will remain. Don't force any memory out or anything. Don't try to repress something, but don't give it any importance, because it will only add to some sense of specialness or something happened with me, all of this. So don't resist it when it's coming. Enjoy. It is there for you to enjoy. Just like prasad, you enjoy it, the sweetness, and then you don't clamor for more. Don't say this should always be like this. This is how an awakened one must be all the time. All this is just then mind stuff. So don't give it any sort of importance like that. Just look at it as a gift from grace. Don't feel that you did something to bring it on. Don't feel that you can bring it again. All of this, then you forget about it. And also, if it is confusing right now between intuition and thought, you forget about both these things. You just stay in satsang, focus on your inquiry. All this will become clear.
So I'll continue about inquiring about the voice also. That has really struck me, Father, now. I'm like, it's really struck me now. Oh my God, where was I all these days? With the voice. Morning I wake up, that's it. The voice says on. Thinking, so where is this voice coming from? So it's all imagination, or does it really exist, Father? Then there's no difference between me and mental patient.
Whatever the voice might be, you are the witness of it or no? So then one thing is clear, that it cannot be you. Now I've told you the way to discern between the voice of intuition and the voice of the mind. You see? And if it is not accompanied by love, peace and joy, then it is not worth trusting. Trust me on this. Because I've met many who seem to be afflicted by many voices, and they start off very much sounding like a guru, but they come to me after 1 year of trusting this voice, and everything is in shambles. And it takes a lot of energetic work to rid them of these voices.
Please take this voice also, Father. I don't want this also, please.
Okay, if
I
it
didn't
doesn't
even
have your,
realize.
it's okay. If it doesn't have your
Very.
allegiance, if it doesn't have your trust, it will not become stronger. If you are in satsang, it's completely fine. Don't fear. I'm here. Huh?
Thank you so much, Father. Thank you.
feels like a mind question.
It's okay.
This voice, which is accompanied with loud
Yes.
bass. Who's this voice talking to? Who is this voice talking to?
It is again consciousness only speaking to consciousness, but it's like in the program you made one voice which is saying, like we joke and say, Mr. Bond, your next mission is to go and rescue this person from there. And then you also created this fail-safe voice, the reminder alarm, which said, okay, you played enough. Have you played enough? Then let's look at what I am. Let's look at what you are. It's like Priya, before going to the LARP, has sent herself a message. I keep using this LARP example very often because I feel it's very good. So before going for the LARP, you send yourself a recorded message and say, if you ever get confused and if you ever, feel that you're really the priestess, then just listen to this message and I'm going to remind you about what you are. So this is the voice of the intuition. It's your own recorded message which is saying this is what you really are. Because the pretense has gone on. Now if you're open to leaving the movie, if you're open to the end of the pretense, then this voice is your own recording. Yeah. I'm just looking at something happening in the chat again. Just few weeks ago we were saying that no spamming, no spammers, nobody comes and it's so shanti shanti in the chat everywhere. And now every day we've been getting something or the Now we can see it even after you delete it. Maybe it blocks the one who posted it, but it's visible. It's okay.
Yeah, I was just asking them because Jesh noticed yesterday that when we remove it on my screen, it removes it, but it's still available until people refresh or new people come in.
It's already here in the browser, isn't it? So it won't delete from there unless it's refreshed.
If I press remove, it deletes it out of my browser immediately. I don't see it. So I thought it did that for everybody, but apparently not. They have to refresh. So you're probably reading something I deleted a little while ago.
Definitely, I'm reading something which you deleted. So if you're not liking what you're seeing, just refresh the YouTube chat. I'm okay. It's okay. It's just words. It doesn't mean anything. Omkar says, now I know why it's called refresh. Amaya says, we changed the name of the satsang from Thank You for Killing Me from a few days ago. And it brought up a whole YouTube sideline with words of YouTubes about killing and hate. I see. Maybe it'll get better now that the title was changed. Associated titles are still there. It's funny how things can work, no, like this. Thank you for pointing it out, my dear. And Nikhil says it disappears after marking it as spam. Amaya says we should not title satsangs with words out of context because it creates associated YouTubes like Axeman, chopping heads, etc. Okay, we'll look at this. We'll look at this. Okay, I'm not sure where I left the chat, but Dina says, oh, it's 1:10. Okay, let's quickly read this. Are you awake now? I laughed all day today. Simple like this, isn't it? Aparna says, Father, something is shaky here now because it's exposed. Scared feeling is here in the heart. Sometimes some energy is trying to get a hold over you, and very quickly, very good, you got in satsang and it stands exposed. So some play will happen, but it's okay. Okay, who's going to sing for us today? Dina knows a song one. You have to unmute before you start singing. No, nothing is coming up. Maybe Priya can sing.
Yeah, I can sing something. Let's get my guitar. Hoping it's in tune. Sangha of being, one seeing, one love. Sangha of being, one seeing, one love. Sangha of Ananta, you are light. Ananta, you are presence of grace, Father, we love you. Sangha being, being, one seeing, one love, Sangha being. Ananta, you are light. Ananta, always in our hearts. Oh Father, presence of grace, Father, we love you. Sangha being, one seeing, one love. Sangha being, one seeing, one love. Sangha being.
my dear. Thank you so much. Amba also wants to sing one song.
I like singing, but I can't think of what to sing. I need to learn some songs. Can you think of anything I can sing?
You can sing Sitaram.
Okay. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Thank you.
Sitaram, Jai Jai. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram, Jai Jai. Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Sitaram, Jai
Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. Sitaram.
Jai Jai Sitaram. Jai Jai Ram. 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 What is the bhajan name?
Guruji ki
Jai.
Jai!
I never know when to stop singing this because it can just keep going on in a loop forever and ever and ever.
is going forever. I think it might be.
Parvati ji, can we have your invocations now?
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Dhyanamulam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa, Mokshamulam Mujiji Kripa, Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramya, Sarve Putrani Pashantu, Makaschit Dukkhapak Bhavet, Asatom Asat Kamiya, Tamasoma Jyotir Gamiya, Mrityurma Amritam Gamiya. Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Brahma Paramastu. Om Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Om Shri Satguru Murti Ji Ki Jai.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Anantaji ki
Jai.
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 Jai. Jai.
Thank you, my dear. We can turn the broadcast off now. Thank you so much.